What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Panthers advice. Man, we got a lot to talk about today. First up, let's talk about this guy right here, Gerard Clark, 6'4", 335, 5'2", 540. Okay, talk to me nice. All right. A couple of good things about him. He's got a 6'10" wingspan, adequate foot quickness for his size. I hate when they use fancy words like this. Just say, dude's got impressive foot quickness for his size. Adequate. Anywho, gets off the ball into the block with force. You can see where Clark is at any point during this film session because he is the biggest guy on the field. All right, 6'4", 330. The question you have to ask yourself now is, does he have a bag? Or is he just beating everybody because he's just bigger than everybody? Let's run that first play back real quick. Let's take a look at this. Like I said before, it's not easy to miss him. He's the biggest guy on the field. Take a look right here. All right, look at that rip underneath. See if we can run that back ever so slightly. Quick rip too. Very fundamental. Bang, rips underneath. Woo! At the quarterback. And look how fast this man is. Right? Rips, bang. That acceleration, man. Let him get a one-on-one. Let him get a one-on-one. And then right here, man, just stopping the run. And, this is what the Carolina Panthers need, right? Somebody who can just shoot through the line. Now, remember what I said before. It is Coastal Carolina, but right here, just absolutely blows through the line. That's what you want to see. And right here, I believe we saw a rip move again. Let's take a look at this real quick. Yep, once again, a rip move. So you can see he can give you that straight bull rush or he's going to rip underneath, which is interesting. That means, okay, he's thinking if you play me like this, I'm going to just full force you. If you play me like this, bam, I'm going to rip underneath. So you like to see that from a defensive tackle, right? Somebody in their bag. And then right here, 2-on-1, he beats the guard right there. Banks, they're just going to try and help out. Doesn't matter. 2-on-1. I mean, he's taking down three guys at once. He's taking down three guys at once. If the Panthers can get him right, the potential of a 6'4", 330-pound defensive tackle, nose tackle, man, next to Derek Brown, next to Clowney potentially, and how all that plays out. Why do the Panthers need defense? All right, this was week 1 when everyone was healthy. How does Kamara get to the edge untouched? All right, the first thing you're going to see is bad angles, all right, from the backers and defensive backs. D-line, they get beat off the snap. Look at this. No one's stopping him. No one's stopping him. All right, Kamara, just went berserk against the Carolina Panthers week 1. Right here, all right, next play we're going to look at. Guys, look at that hole. This is just this is just insane. I don't know that Chuba ever had a hole like that. The line was good blocking, but this hole right here, remember, this was week 1. Week 1, right? This is a prove-it game. It's now the second quarter, all right? 5 minutes into the second, give or take. It's 17-0. It's 3rd and 7. Guys, it's 3rd and 7. And this is the hole Kamara's getting right here. You can just... I'm not going to pick on anybody because the season's over. But this is why we need a nose tackle and a few other pieces. Is Clark going to come in and change the game right away? No, because he was originally signed by the Chargers, right? Picked up by the Chargers. All right, Chargers let him go. So he's not going to be a game changer right away. Hopefully he can over time. But this right here is why we have to start adding piece on top of piece on top of piece. Because, this is just... This was week 2. This was week 2. It's the 3rd quarter. It just started. It's 20-3. And look at the Chargers. Absolutely running the ball down our throat right here. The holes again, guys. The holes again are crazy. So, as you can see, man, we need a lot of defensive help. And hopefully they're just going to bring in a bunch of guys and basically see who's going to fit in the scheme. Next thing we're talking about is the Shrine Bowl. Should you watch the Shrine Bowl tomorrow? If you're watching the video tonight, then it's tomorrow. If you're watching it tomorrow, well, then it's that night, right? So should you watch the Shrine Bowl tomorrow? or even take a look at who's playing? To me, the answer is yes. Just get an idea of who's playing. Because these three guys right here were on the Shrine Bowl roster last year. You got Ja'Tavion Sanders, you got Brooks, and you got Plummer. So there's definitely a chance that one or two or three guys from the Shrine Bowl could end up on the Panthers next year. Now, whether they're drafted or free agents, that's to be determined. Now let's look at a couple guys who are going to be playing the Shrine Bowl that I like. First up is going to be Mike Green. Now, if the Panthers trade back, this is one guy I see the Panthers potentially getting. 17 sacks out of Marshall. Now, Marshall being the key word, right? Because Marshall, it's not playing the Bama, the Michigan. It's not playing Ohio State. It's not playing those colleges. However, he is lighting it up at the Senior Bowl on 1v1s against offensive linemen. To me, he's a more stout Abdul Carter, to be honest with you. He's quick. He is quick. He's got a nasty, essentially a Euro step, right? Let's run it back real quick so you guys can see. Fakes like he's going to the outside and then bang, cuts it back in. Like if you're going to see fakes like he's going outside and he's going to cut it back in. Bang, bang, and takes down the running back. Now this is dangerous because if it's a run play and it's designed, to go to the right side, you step right, you're getting plowed like that. Because when he's stepping right, it's not a step right and drive, right? It's a step right, then step back. So his momentum, half of it's on the right foot, the other half is on the bounce on the left foot. But you can see this dude, he is quick off the... This dude, he's quick. Carter is nice, don't get me wrong. But Mike Green, if you were to trade back and get him, man, because that move right there, that's nasty. It's nasty, one, because the move, but the second thing you want to look at is the fundamentals. Can he do this consistently? And if you run this back, this looked clean. This wasn't like a half-court shot you make one out of every 15, 20 tries. No, I think he could do this consistently. What's going to happen is that tackle is not going to know how to play him. So let's say next time that tackle reaches out, bang, he's shooting in, rip underneath, all right? Same thing, maybe he's going to act like he's going in, spin move around the outside. I mean, if you can set up the next 4 quarters where the tackle doesn't know what you're going to do, man, and what's going to happen is they're basically going to design hell to that side, whether they slide it right, a tight end to chip, you leave it running back in to chip as well. They're going to have to focus on him, right, which would then free up Derek Brown, DJ Wanham, so on and so forth. The next guy we're going to talk about is Jeffrey B. out of Oregon. Now, a little bit undersized at 6'2", 230. However, when you watch his highlights, to me, this is what the Panthers are missing. I don't want them to go draft him early, but if you've got an extra pick in the 2nd or 3rd round, extra picks, remember what I said, extra picks, I think this is somebody we need. He's not going to get you your 15, 20 sacks off the edge, but we need somebody who can shoot the gaps and stop the run. All right? I didn't want to bore you guys showing you all the run plays last year where teams ran all over us. But how many times did we actually see backers in the backfield blowing plays up? The answer is 0. Unfortunately, the answer is 0. Right? We never saw them shoot the gaps. I think Jewel and Trevin did a great job when it got to the outside on a stretch or a toss, right? But as far as shooting the gaps, it didn't happen, right? Outside zones, we got decently killed on last year. Inside zones, we got destroyed. So he's not going to basically be that perennial sack guy, but you need somebody who's going to force them to go to the outside. And when they go to the outside, that's when hopefully we have a rookie or a free agent who's going to shut down that side. You got DJ Wanham on the other side. You're going to have potentially other guys we're going to sign as well. So if you get somebody who can shut down the inside like this right here, plus with all that being said, I look at this play right here. This time he's not even on the line. He's going to drop back into coverage. And how many times do we see Evero drop Clowney back into coverage? To me, it made no sense. All right, if I'm being honest with you, Clowney, he's just a little bit older. But you get somebody like this right here who can blitz or drop back into coverage. I mean, let me know your thoughts, guys. But I think we need somebody like that who can shoot the gaps and stop the run. Next thing we're going to talk about to end the video is Dan Morgan saying this about the draft. Let's take a look right here. General Manager Dan Morgan did not dismiss the possibility, saying that Carolina will explore a potential move between now and the end of April. I think everything's on the table, like I always say. All right. Obviously, depending on who's on the board at number 8, that's always going to be an option to trade back. Now let's talk about this real quick. Does it make sense to trade back? The answer is yes. If the guy they want isn't there, and here's why, guys. I mean, here's why. Opponent points per game. Panthers defense ranked 32. All right. Opponent yards per game. All right. Panthers 32. Opponent's points per. You guys see where I'm going. We're 32 except for fourth down conversions where we're 20. But look at this right here. Opponent's third down conversion, 50%. 50%. That means every other third down, in theory, the opponent's converted. Every other third down. But, I mean, we're not done yet, though. Let's take a look at this right here. Opponent's rushing play percentage. In a pass-heavy era that we're in now, teams ran the ball 51% versus passing at, 49.7? They ran more than they passed against the Panthers. Now, there's two reasons for that. One, because teams got such a big lead against the Panthers. And two, they're like, oh, the Panthers can't stop the run. We're just going to keep running it, right? I mean, look at this. The Panthers were allowing 5 yards a rush. 5 yards a rush is what we allowed. Rushes a game, almost 35 rushes a game. In a pass-heavy era, teams were rushing the ball on us for almost 35 times. Rushing yards a game, 180. I mean, this is just crazy right here. Rushing touchdowns a game, though, 1.4. And that goes to show you, teams weren't doing it on us as part of their game plan. They were doing it on us because we couldn't stop it. You know, rushing touchdowns a game only allowed 1.4. But we still allowed 180 yards a game. 35 rushes a game. I mean, this is this is just crazy right here. And I mean, the pass defense isn't much better, to be honest with you, but it is a little bit better. We're not ranked 32 in every category like you see right here. So rush defense has to improve. That's why something like Gerard Clark, if you can improve him and allow him to work in your scheme, ooh, talk to me nice, because you saw that big boy. When he got going in open field, ain't nobody safe. But with all that being said, I mean, just look, guys. Opponent yards per rush. They were averaging 5 yards on the ground. They're rushing it 35 times. 180 yards on the ground in a pass-heavy era. A pass-heavy era, teams were rushing it for the Panthers for 180 every game. So that being said, that's going to wrap it up. Video dropping Friday. Stay tuned for that. I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy. Panthers advice is out. Peace.